Hi everyone. Welcome to your weekly messages for the last week of August, the 23rd through the 31st. We'll just go to the end of the month. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but August has been one hell of a month. Woo! Now, I know I work in higher education, and anybody who works in education in general knows August is always crazy. The back to school stuff, everybody trying to get everything accomplished before school starts, and I work it, I live it with my 13-year-old son, and they're doing the first 9 weeks at least online, so it's been interesting. So these are the general messages. This is for everybody, anybody who resonates. So these are the messages that want to come out this week. So if you're watching this at a later time, that's totally fine. You're watching this when you're supposed to. So we're all on different timelines, like I always say. For some of us, this is happening now. For others, this has already happened. And for others, this is yet to come. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not a storyline for you, it's not a storyline for you. It's totally fine. I will be doing the 4 elements. So earth signs, water signs, fire signs, air signs, not necessarily in that order because I don't remember what I just said. So they will come out as they come out. These are the general messages. So I appreciate all of you. I was fine last week. I just needed a little bit of a mental health break. Like I said, August is crazy in higher education, plus getting my lovely son settled, and we're acclimating this week to the online stuff that was different than the online stuff that happened at the end of the school year in the spring. Deep breath, all is well. So thank you all for checking in. I'm fine. I just needed to recharge my battery because, as I always say, we cannot pour from an empty cup. So I had to go and spend some time last week filling my cup back up. So I did upload a couple of videos to the channel this week, the Facebook Lives that I did. So that is where I put my energy. I uploaded a few days ago, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I uploaded the Facebook Live about good grief and normalizing grief and how that can affect us physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, socially, all the things. I did spend a few years as a grief counselor in hospice, so I do have certifications. I'm not actively practicing with those certifications, but once you have the tools for your toolbox, they're there forever. So that is the wisdom that I pass along. So check that out if you haven't already. I have also uploaded from last night. So I'm recording this on Sunday, August 23rd. So last night, Saturday, August 22nd, I did a Facebook Live, the first in a series about astrology basics. So as I am learning, I am passing on that info. I am by no means an expert when it comes to astrology. I'm very much a novice, still very much a student. But I did upload that Facebook Live. It was fairly short. I wasn't sure if people would be interested in the topic. So I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a feel for the situation, for what people might be interested in. It was a really nice response. So I will be continuing that. So follow me over on Facebook to find those lives. I don't know if I'll upload them all to the channel. So make sure that you're following me over there so that you can stay up to date on all of the things that are happening and all the Facebook Lives that I do over there. Follow me on Instagram as well. All of the links are in the description box below, but you can pretty much find me at Willow Tree Heals, H-E-A-L-S, sorry, Willow Tree Heals. I'm getting ahead of myself, H-E-A-L-S. Except now I'm on TikTok. My lovely wife is begrudgingly dragging me into that social media platform. I'm still very much getting used to it, so bear with me. But you can find me over there at Willow Tree Healing. So my actual name at Willow Tree Healing on TikTok. So I am uploading daily videos. It looks like, I just started last week, and it looks like sometime this week we're going to hit the 1,000 that you need over there in order to go live. So I will be doing some lives over on TikTok as well. So I am continuing to grow. I am so incredibly very grateful for every single one of you that have liked this channel and subscribed to this channel, liked these videos and shared them and passed them along. So thank you all so much. I can't do it without you. If you like the content that I create and you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. So please feel free to like, share, and subscribe over here as well. And if you would like to book your own personal reading, all of my information is in the description box below. You can book an appointment through Square if you would like to use a credit card. Very secure. It does give you the option to save it, and it is private. I cannot see it, and I cannot charge you. You have to do it through the invoice that I send. So very secure if you choose to do that. If you would like to PayPal or Venmo, you can just send me a message and I will either through email or through Facebook or Instagram, however it is, and I will set you up that way as well. So I'm very inclusive. All right, so let's get into the messages this week. All the tarot decks that I am using, both of the tarot decks that I'm using are in the description box below, as well as all of the Oracle cards. I have 6 oracles over here. We'll see what calls to me. Seems to be a lot about self-care, surrender, and change. But I did throw in a little bit of whimsy this week, because I feel like I don't think there's anything major astrologically speaking going on this week. So yay for that, because August has been a hell of a month. I'm just saying. Then I felt like we could use some play. So I'm using the Fairy Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. These are beautiful, whimsical cards. And I'm also, so that's going to be the base of the reading, the main spread, clarifying with the Arcanum Tarot. And I never say his name right, and I have a few decks. Scarabeo? Sorry if I butchered that. It's in the description box. And then I have several Oracle decks, and I think all but one are still in print. All right, so what's going on this week, guys? Or, you know, what messages want to come out? Woo! So this deck is wonderfully renamed some of the traditional names. So Ego. This is called Ego. I'll give you a few minutes to kind of take it in, because there's a lot going on in each of these cards. They are so incredibly beautiful. I love them all. I just saw 8:08 on the timer. Been yapping for 8 minutes. Sorry. All right, so it's the illusion of being trapped, place too much importance on material items, and getting caught up in fear and worry. So this is traditionally the Devil card. Ooh, we got some reversals here. This is one of the few Radleigh Valentine, I love him, few decks that I use by him where I do read reverse. The angel ones I don't. It just doesn't feel right. So renewal and reverse, this is the Judgment card. So there you go. 6 of Summer, so this is the 6 of Cups, but it's in reverse. So we'll get into that here in a minute. Ace of Winter, so that's the Ace of Swords. These are elemental based since they're fairy cards. It just makes sense. Princess of Summer, that's Cups. Energy there. Messenger. Page. Good night. Right. So overall energy being Devil energy, that is just crazy to me. So it's basically let go of anything that is making you feel trapped, making you feel like you're a slave to something, any kind of addictions. And that can be, that doesn't just have to be like drug, sex, alcohol, gambling, physical world stuff. That can be emotional stuff too. That can be obsessions. It can be addicted to drama queens and kings, that sort of energy. So with this one, it says review the past and present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose and releasing judgments for yourself and others. Now remember, this was reversed. So with this card, it's really beautiful. And with it being in reverse, that just means you're not necessarily hearing that judgment call. You're not making a judgment call. You're not hearing spirit. You're not able to do those things where you can review the past and present so that you can move forward to a brighter future. So try to do that. Six of Cups, I'll show it to you upright. That's nostalgia, childhood stuff. That could be somebody coming back from the past, or at least dealing with somebody from your past. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it could be. It could just be like a childhood friend or a memory coming back to teach you a lesson, or where you're in a situation where it reminds you of childhood and you need to deal with it in that way. Oh, and each one of these has writing, so I will read these to you. Children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they occurred. And that's how I see the Six of Cups in reverse. So sometimes we look back through an adult filter and we see these things that might be a little bit different. So the way that we remember something when we're a child affects, that's developmental. That's a developmental time. So that can affect us later in life. And then when we're given this opportunity to revisit, Chiron is still in retrograde through the middle of December. Yeah, December 15th-ish. So he's bringing up these things for us, these old emotional things for us, so that we can heal. So that might be what this is all about. When we go back and we look through the lens of adulthood and we see it differently, or we're having a conversation with a sibling or a parent or a friend and we're revisiting whatever happened, there are times where they shed a different light in their perspective through their filter. And then that causes us a little bit of an upheaval, like, oh, that's not at all how I remembered it. And it's not to shatter anything for you. It's just to help you see the truth, or see the way that things aren't always as they appear. The Ace of Winter, so like I said, that is the Ace of Swords. And I love that it's depicted as winter, because swords are our thoughts. It's air energy. So it's appropriately depicted as winter. Just like the cups is appropriately, to me, depicted with summer, because that's water, that's cups energy. Cups, that's water energy. And it just kind of reminds me of swimming during the summer. So that's a good way to remember as I'm discussing these, how the elements work in this deck. It says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. And that's exactly how I see the Ace of Swords. And you see this gorgeous white tiger, big white tiger behind her. He's not stalking his prey. That to me, especially being white, represents spirit and how we're always guarded and protected. And spirit is, they don't always have to lead the way. They can just kind of whisper in your ear, and there goes my nose, and kind of give the guidance. As that's what the Ace of Swords is. It's all about the guidance. It's usually depicted as a sword with a crown on it. So our crown chakra, divine guidance, that sort of thing. So that's what this card says to me. That's spirit behind us, guiding us, giving us those gentle nudges that say, here's a divine inspiration, here's a divine thought that can lead you in the right direction, especially if you're feeling lost. A lot of us feel lost right now. I know that's a general statement, but given the current state of affairs, especially in the United States with everything going on and COVID just seemingly getting worse, I will refrain from my opinions on that one. But anybody who knows me knows where I'm going with this. So seeing this beautiful fairy. She's walking along a path and it's snow covered. She can't necessarily see where the beaten path would be. So sometimes we have to make our own way. And when we trust that spirit is with us, whether they're in front of us or behind us, they're with us. Sometimes we have to make the choice of which way to go, but they'll be with us regardless to protect us. Hopefully that made sense. All right, Princess of Summer. So since these are court cards, these can be people, they can be you. So it's somebody who's gentle and sensitive, kind, but inexperienced, especially with it being in reverse. So pages are messengers. That's why I said messenger earlier. I'm getting ahead of myself again, so I can see how this is going to go. Bear with me. So in reverse, that's how I see it. You're inexperienced, you're feeling like you don't have the right tools to do something, and with it being summer, it's cups, it's emotions. So maybe you don't feel, especially with it being underneath the Six of Cups in reverse, Six of Summer, Six of Cups in reverse. You might feel like this message that you want to deliver to somebody, or that you're hoping somebody will deliver to you, that has to do with, could be romance, could be family, could be co-workers. It's anybody who is in relation to us. When we say relationships, we tend to think romantic, but it doesn't have to be. We have relationships with everybody in our lives: neighbors, friends, co-workers, family members. Yes, romantic interests, our children, anybody who's a player, a daily player in our lives. So it says a new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. So with it being in reverse, maybe you're feeling like you can't talk to anybody about what's going on. Or maybe you're not open yourself. Maybe you're being closed off. So let's see what happens when we clarify. Get I always say mine. I always do that. I just say it because, I mean, I'm not the author of these beautiful decks by any means. But I have them. They are mine. So they're in my possession. So that's why I said that. Let's grab the Arcanum Tarot. I honestly have been trying for far longer than I would like to admit to retrain myself from saying my deck. Because I'm not trying to get sued. I'm not trying to nor lead anybody in the wrong direction. Hopefully everybody knows what I mean by now. But that is not what I mean. I'm not trying to take credit for this beautiful artwork or these beautiful the intentions and interpretations of these cards. Someday it'll come to me. It'll just happen. One more. All right, let's start with ego. Okay. Oh, Knight of Swords in reverse. So, hey, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Could be you, could be somebody else. General energy, knights are action. And this is the fastest knight in the deck. We're going to turn him on his head. So, not so much. Things not moving as quickly as what you would like. Things that maybe they need to. Maybe you need to pump the brakes. Especially when it comes to ego death. Ego is good when it's balanced. And when our ego is balanced, we're able to take a look and understand why we do the things that we do, why we say the things we say, why we feel the way that we feel. So it's okay. Ego is okay. Ego keeps us safe, right? It's when we have an unhealed ego that it's a problem. So as you work on your ego, one of the things that can be really helpful is to name your ego. And my dear friend Tish Needs Wiki from Soulspirational Wellness Center, she's on YouTube, you can find her. She has a wonderful exercise called Name Your Ego. And when it's just like fear, when we give it a name, when we give our emotions, whatever it is that we're feeling, a name, we can more appropriately deal with it. So when you name your ego, mine's name is Rufus. So Rufus started as this big black cloaked kind of blob that had all these barnacles and swords in him, and he was very unhealed. And yeah, my ego is a he. So divine masculine, divine feminine. And for me, the masculine is the ego and the feminine is my higher self. That's how I have seen my ego. You might not see it that way. I'm just giving you my experience, not to influence you, but to help you to understand how this has been my experience. As we teach through our own filters, right? So here you go. So my name is Rufus. As I was going through Tish's wonderful exercise, I could see him, I identified him, and he told me his name. His name is Rufus. So Rufus, I would send outside when I would do meditation. I'd be like, go outside and play. And then I found healing when I sent Rufus outside to work on ascension with his guardian angels. And as that has happened, he has stripped away all of that yuck and has healed. He's not completely healed, but he has healed quite a bit. And now he's kind of looking like that gorgeous King of Cups from the Tarot de la Nuit that I love, that I totally fangirl every time he comes out because he's gorgeous. So there you go. So he's starting to look like that, but he still has moments where I can see the open wounds and he's a little angry and things happen. So I send him outside to work on ascension. Seraphina is my higher self and she's beautiful. She wears this beautiful soft pink, glowing, flowy, the best thing I can describe it as is a robe. Kind of like a Grecian look to her. She's beautiful. And she's timid and shy, but she comes through. So if that helps you at all, there you go. So as we say, and it's just like the death card, it's not a physical death. The ego doesn't die and we can heal it. So when I say ego death, that's what I mean. We're going through and deleting it as the way that we knew it and working on creating something new. So that could be something that needs to happen for you, and that's why that Knight of Swords is in reverse. Maybe you need to pump the brakes and you need to heal this. Somebody out there does, because I just spent a few minutes going off on a complete tangent. Very personal information that I shared with you. Spiritually personal. But as my intention is always, those who need to hear the messages will. Okay. All right. So the Five of Wands in reverse. So not fighting it anymore. You're not struggling. You're just, you're coming to terms with this. And that's wonderful. Eight of Wands. Communication. So you could be communicating with somebody to help you with this, or because of this, it's opening communication up with somebody that maybe you were fighting with before. Maybe things weren't moving because ego was in the way. Page of Pentacles in reverse. So the Page of Pentacles is the wonderful student. So maybe you've been ignoring this for a little bit. Maybe you have been thinking that it didn't need to happen. Maybe you were so much in the ego, you're like, I'm fine. I don't need that. Be honest with yourself. Queen of Wands in reverse. So, hey, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. I love this queen. She's beautiful. So in reverse, maybe you've lost your fire, your passion because of this. Maybe you're surrendering it. That could be too. Or you could be dealing with a fire sign as well who maybe has made you feel like you were trapped. Maybe they're the ones who are in the ego or in some sort of addiction. Maybe they're the ones who have been controlling and manipulative, and you need to get rid of them. Take it how it resonates. All right, renewal in reverse. Okay. You have to get them in order. All right. The Fool. You're starting on a brand new journey. Or maybe you feel like you need to start over. Knight of Wands. Again, hey, fire signs. So again, knights are about action. This is the fastest moving knight in the deck. So now you're taking some inspired action. You're moving on. Maybe this knight is pushing you to do this. And it's not, I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad push. I feel like it's more of a not so gentle nudge to get moving in the right direction. Page of Cups upright. So there you go. You can kind of get the feel of the Page of Cups in this one, where pages are messengers. So here we go, bringing in that message of love in whatever way that means for you, because you are stepping out on this new journey. High Priestess in reverse. Maybe you're not listening to your intuition. This is also the sign of Pisces. Hello. So you could be dealing with a Pisces maybe who isn't as open as they could be. Ten of Cups in reverse. So maybe you feel like your home life has been turned upside down. Maybe you're getting out of a long-term relationship. Could be with the Pisces, could be with the fire sign. Take it how it resonates. Oh, Page of Cups as well. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, water signs. So lots of water in this one. So if that resonates for you, there you go. Six of Summer. All right. That one and then these two. Woo. All right. So the Hierophant in reverse, something that's non-traditional, but could also be, again, divorce or you don't have to be married. Maybe you were together for 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. With it being 5 is the Hierophant. Or the Hierophant's number is 5. So that's an interesting way to interpret it. So maybe something from your childhood. Maybe you were raised in the church and now you're turning more towards the spiritual side of things. Now that you're abandoning your religious beliefs or your religion, but maybe you are getting out of the man-made religion and coming more into the knowing that we are all spiritual beings and that there are various religions, but they all have a common denominator. For better or for worse, they have a few common denominators. But if man-made religion just isn't your thing, if you were raised in a certain religion, whether it was a Christian church or a Muslim mosque or whatever it might be, a Jewish temple, whatever it might be for you, then you might be actually leaving the church, the temple, the synagogue, whatever it is for you. You're actually leaving the physical place because it doesn't resonate with your soul anymore. And that's okay. You don't have to. Society's going to tell us that we have to be a certain way or practice a certain way. And that's not true. God doesn't care. As long as you're being true to your authentic self, being a good person and doing no harm to others, does it really matter? The Two of Swords in reverse. So you're kind of feeling stuck, not really sure which way to go. There's a decision that needs to be made and you're not making it right now. And that's okay. Or maybe that decision to leave the organized religion is causing a rift in some way. Ten of Swords. You're done. You're over it. Maybe you felt stabbed in the back. Maybe something happened. And I know she's face up in this one. Traditionally, and none of them are piercing her. If you notice that, that's not traditional. Non-traditional, right? So a traditional depiction of the Ten of Swords is a dude laying flat on his back with 10 knives in him. And it's not very pretty. This one, it's like they're all right on the surface, but they haven't punctured her. Very interesting. Three of Cups. Celebration. Celebrating. And I know this is an interesting juxtaposition, right? You got the Ten of Swords with the Three of Cups. Like, what on earth would there be to celebrate? Being done. being done with something, the end of a chapter, the end of this being with swords, mentally draining. You've thought about this for a long time, and now you're making a move, and you're like, I'm done. I'm ready to go. Fool, I'm ready to go. Ace, whoa, Ace of Winter. Eek. Flying out today, guys. 6 cups. So interesting, came out sideways. What does that tell me? When it comes out and it's facing to the left, which is the past, definitely means nostalgia. Thinking back about what happened in childhood, what happened when you were younger. I consider childhood even up through your early 20s. So when there's that youthful energy. So you've been thinking about it. You have this kind of epiphany about how things were or how you were raised. And it wasn't necessarily what you would do today. The Emperor in reverse. I see this as Aries, so hello. With the Emperor being in reverse, he's all of the kings combined. So when he's in reverse, he's kind of the shadow side of the kings. So he could be a little controlling, a little manipulative, a father figure. So maybe this is not, it's kind of pissing off your dad or someone who's like a father to you. Could be your priest or the head of your church, your rabbi, whatever it is for you. Or somebody, like I said, somebody who's like a father to you. The 8 of Swords in reverse. So you are getting yourself out of that mental prison. You're not letting it hurt you anymore. You're not letting other people tell you what to do. Amen. Death in reverse. So, hey, Scorpio. Death in reverse. I mean, it could be a Scorpio, by all means. But really the way that I see it is this is a chance for a brand new beginning. Fool, upright, death reversed. Could be that maybe it's not quite over. You're not completely abandoning everything. So again, I'm going to use myself as an example. I was raised in a Presbyterian church. Went to church every Sunday, like it or not, you're going to church. And then as I've gotten older, I started separating myself. And it really kind of irritated my dad. And I love my dad. We have a great relationship. But it didn't go over super well. And then as I got older and I started embracing my spirituality more, it's not like I left everything behind. I do still go and visit the church. I just don't go all the time. Probably really only go about once a quarter. Definitely Easter, definitely Christmas Eve, and then twice sometime in the middle. And you know, maybe I go 5 or 6 times a year. I just on average, I only go a few times a year. I don't go every Sunday. And I don't feel the need to. Because it just doesn't resonate. There are times that I've sat and listened to scripture and listened to sermons and it's like, no, that just doesn't resonate for me. That is control, or that isn't really the interpretation that I believe. Whatever might get under my skin a little bit. So not completely abandoning what you've done, but you're taking with you what still does resonate. 4 cups in reverse. Yep. Not stagnant, not melancholy, not really sad about it. Gorgeous. All right. Princess of Summer in reverse. Interesting. Okay. So the first thing we have is Strength in reverse. Hey, Leo. We just left Leo season and now we're in Virgo season. So that could be one interpretation. The other is maybe you don't feel strong enough. Maybe you don't feel the support with it being water energy. Maybe you don't feel supported. Maybe you are going through that period where it's like, what are you doing? Everybody else is going to service, but you're not. What are you doing? So maybe you don't feel supported. Maybe you don't feel strong enough. But the other way that I read this card is that it takes incredible inner strength. So you're finding that inner strength to stand up and move forward, regardless of if you have everybody's emotional support or not. Queen of Swords. Hey, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Queen of Swords, she's got that sword, and she uses it if she needs to. She cuts out the BS. I try to keep it PG-13 on the channel, I really do. I almost slipped. Because her energy is so, she's very, she'll use, like I said, she'll use the sword if she needs to. She doesn't necessarily, she's not in reverse, so she's not cold and callous and just death to everybody. It's more like, when it's upright, if I need to. She can also cut cords of attachment to people, places, things, ideals, whatever it is for you. So call in Archangel Michael if that's something that you feel called to do, is to get rid of some stuff and do some cord cutting, if that feels right for you. She's very deciduous. Deciduous? That's a tree. Let's try that again. She's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Words are not, I'm very heady right now, so words are not flowing. My apologies. Basically, she takes decided action. She's somebody that you can go to for advice. She's very intellectual. She takes everything into account before she makes a decision. So you're very cautious about who and or what you are cutting out, but if it's necessary, you'll do it. Justice in reverse. So hello, Libra. Justice in reverse. Basically, that's going to be, again, maybe you're getting out of a long-term relationship. There's some kind of legal action, and also karma. So maybe you feel like it's not balanced, like the energy isn't balanced. Take what resonates. Whew. This is why I said interesting. 9 of Swords. So this is the anxiety card, insomnia, sleeplessness, monkey brain, just going 100 miles a minute. And the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're worried about it being fair and balanced. Maybe somebody's threatening to cut you out of the will if you leave the religion. But the beautiful thing is this is upright. So even if that were to happen, everything's going to work out. It's all going to be balanced. It's all going to be okay. So that is just manipulation and control. That's ego. Woo, that kind of took a turn, didn't it, guys? All right, so let me do a card from the Surrender reading cards. So I used this deck today on TikTok as the daily card reading. And I won't say what it was because I don't want to influence this reading. So if you'd like to check it out, go check it out. At Willow Tree Healing. Woo. Okay. Aw, these are great. Surrender to receiving support and love. So if you feel unsupported, like I said, surrender that. Because the people who truly love you will support and love you regardless. And look, they're polar bears. I love polar bears. So sweet. So it says, allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Surrender your fear of intimacy. So if this is a love relationship for you, you are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Page of Cups in reverse. And gender's neutral, by the way, if I didn't say that already. So now let's get a self-care card. These are beautiful cards. So let's see what can help you. So you know I'm all about self-care. Oh, hi, Phineas. You can come say hello to everybody. For those of you who don't know, Phineas is my familiar. He's my kitty cat. And when he shows up, he's blessing the reading. Hi, baby. You wanna come up here? No. He's like, no, you put me on TikTok too much. I'm done. I told you, I'm trying, guys. I am trying to get into it. It is just not flowing as easily. Rejuvenation. Get a good night's sleep. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and spirit. Nine of Swords, something like that. Let's get a butterfly. So this deck is no longer in print, unfortunately, because Doreen Virtue was the author of this deck, and she went off the deep end and completely denounced everything she ever did with spirituality. And that's as far as I'm gonna go. Hey, I held back politically, but sometimes it's just gotta come out. She was a wonderful teacher. It's really unfortunate that that happened. And I have my thoughts and opinions and things, but I will restrain myself. It's positivity, right? These cards are incredibly beautiful, and I love butterflies. And this deck is called the Butterfly Oracle for Life Changes. Get some rest. All right, guys, I don't know how many times they can tell us this. Look how beautiful that is. So if you need to take a nap, go take a nap. I took a nap yesterday and it was fabulous. Don't get to do that all the time, where I don't have to be up and doing something later. It was really nice. I'm going to, so I have a Kipper deck here, and I'm familiarizing myself with the Kipper. And it's basically like a Lenormand deck, which is different than Tarot and Oracle. It's not totally different, it's just a different divination system. So there are some similarities, but there are some differences too. And today I'm just going to kind of use it as a little bit of an oracle deck. I'm not going to do a full spread on it. Sometime I will. I will. As I get more comfortable and acclimated with it, I will do that. Not today. Number 35. So if that is numerology, if that's a thing for you, 3 and 5 is 8. The infinity and spirit pathway. So like I said earlier with the Ace of Swords, that path. Sometimes we have to forge our own way. We have to break away from what is traditional, from Hierophant reversed, and kind of do our own thing. And I love, look at all these butterflies. Metamorphosis. Your time as a caterpillar has expired. Spread your wings and fly. That's a beautiful meme and I love it. I don't know who the author is. If you do, wonderful. I do not, so whoever came up with that, it's amazing. I love it. I don't know if it's a direct quote, but that's how I interpret it. Whew. Okay, guys, so forging your own path, doing your own thing, doing what's right for you, that's awesome. In whatever way that means for you. Embracing your spirituality, leaving a job, leaving a toxic relationship. That's what the TikTok was today. Getting rid of toxic relationships. So there you go. Now that I'm done shuffling, now I'll say it. But check it out for the full reading. And yeah, for some of you, it's definitely leaving a relationship, 10 of Cups in reverse. For others, leaving religion behind, leaving something from childhood behind. There's a lot of storylines here. So take what resonates for you, apply it to your situation. Awesome. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful week. Make sure that you check out all of your placements, your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And as always, feel free to contact me if you would like your own personal reading. Have a great week. Take care.